Tuesday, the 1st of April this year, that is 2025. And of course, this is a motion that will be moved by the Senate Majority Leader. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 50-1, this is a standing order that gives opportunities to the members to make statements with regards to various issues. And this afternoon, the Senator for Nyandarua County, Senator John Methu, will make a statement in tribute to the late Honorable J.M. Kariuki on the 50th anniversary of his death, as well as the nominated Senator, Senator Mariam Sheikh, will also make a statement concerning the abduction of 4 chiefs, an assistant chief, and a civilian in Mandera County. If you're just joining us, is that the Senate is about to commence its business. What you're seeing on your screen, that is the Senate chambers. Already members have taken their seats. And in a short while, we shall be seeing the procession of the Speaker. Once that procession is inside the chambers, or once the chair is taken, then if the House has attained the required quorum, the business will commence. But until then, this afternoon, the members, pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 53-1, where members seek statements from various standing committees. This afternoon, the nominated Senator, Honorable Beatrice Ogola, will seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations. This is with regards to the poor living conditions of police officers at Ndiwa Police Station in Homa Bay County. Right, that is the Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Jeffa Kingi, making his way into the chambers. He will be presiding over this afternoon sitting. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast, brought to you by PBU in partnership with KBC. Good afternoon.
Mwenyezi Mungu, tunakusihi ututazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu.
Well, the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, the House has not quorated for it to be able to commence business. And what is currently on is a quorum bell. That is a bell, of course, to alert the members of the Senate who may be within the precincts of Parliament, but yet to make their way into the chambers to do just that. And the House has attained that required quorum for the business to commence. So that is what we will be seeing until at the time the quorum is achieved. Members will be making their way into the chambers. And as we wait for the quorum to be achieved, we shall be taking a look at the business. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 53, Paragraph 1, the Senator for Nyandarua County, the quorum has been achieved.
Now, Honourable Senators, I would like to know the presence. Clerk, can you confirm that I'm reading this? Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Honourable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 6.3, I received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Public Audit Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2024. The message, dated Wednesday, 19th of March 2025, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on Thursday, 20th of March 2025. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 46.4, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 51.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Public Audit Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2024, was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 28 on the 2nd of April 2024, to align the Act with the Constitution following a declaration issued by the High Court and clarify provisions on the recruitment of the Auditor General, and whereas the National Assembly considered the same bill and passed it with amendments on Tuesday, the 11th of March 2025, in the form attached hereto. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110.4 of the Constitution and Standing Orders 51 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the bill to the Senate for consideration. Honourable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 163, which requires that a bill which originates in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading, in accordance with Standing Order number 144, I will, at the appropriate time, direct the clerk to read the same bill a first time. I thank you. Also, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3, I received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Public Finance Management Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bills number 26 of 2024. The message, dated Wednesday, 19th of March 2025, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on Thursday, the 20th of March 2025, of the Public Finance Standing Order of Amendment number 2 report, National Assembly Bills pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 51 and message dated National Assembly on March 2025, hereby convey the following message of the National Clerk of the Senate. Whereas Public Finance Management, the Public Finance Standing Order of Bill, National Assembly Bills number 26 of 2024, was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 90 on the 16th of April 2024 to align the timelines for the passing and consideration of the Finance Bill by the County Assemblies and the National Assembly. And whereas the National Assembly considered the said bill and passed it with amendments on Friday the 14th of March 2025 in the form attached hereto, now therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110.4 of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the bill to the Senate for consideration. Honourable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 163, which requires that a bill which originates in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading, in accordance with Standing Order number 144, I will, at the appropriate time, direct the clerk to read the said bill a first time. Also, Honourable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3, I received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Public Audit Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 4 of 2024. The message, dated the Wednesday, 19th of March 2025, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on Thursday, the 20th March 2025. Now, pursuant to Standing Order for 6.4, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Public Audit Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 4 of 2024, was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 28 on 2nd of April 2024, to align the Act with the Constitution following a declaration issued by the High Court and clarify provisions on the recruitment of Auditor General. And whereas the National Assembly considered the said bill and passed it with amendments on Tuesday, 11th of March 2025 in the form attached hereto. Now, therefore, in accordance, Clerk, can you help me? Have I read this message? Am I reading it for the second time? Thank you. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the bill to the Senate for consideration. And pursuant to Standing Order 163, which requires that a bill which originates in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading, in accordance with Standing Order 144, I will at the appropriate time direct the clerk to read the said bill a first time. Honorable Senators, you may take your seats before I read the third message. Honorable Senators, I have another message to pass. I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3, I have received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the County Government's Additional Locations Bill, National Assembly Bills number 2 of 2025. The message, dated Wednesday, the 19th of March 2025, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on Thursday, 20th of March 2025. Pursuant to Standing Order 46.4, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the County Government's Additional Locations Bill, National Assembly Bills number 2 of 2025, was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 12 on the 6th of February 2025 as a bill proposing to provide for additional locations to county governments for the year 2024-2025 financial year, the responsibilities of national government and county governments pursuant to such allocations and for connected purposes. And whereas the National Assembly considered the said bill and passed it with amendments on Friday the 14th of March 2025 in the form attached hereto, now therefore in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the bill to the Senate for consideration. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 163, which requires that a bill which originates in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the manner as the bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading, in accordance with Standing Order number 144, I will, at the appropriate time, direct the clerk to read the said bill a first time. Thank you. Next order, clerk.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The Senate Majority Leader.
No papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Now, statements pursuant to Standing Order 52-1, the Honorable Senator for Nyandarua County. That statement is dropped. Senator Mariam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to make a statement on the matter of national concern, namely adoption of 4 chiefs on the assistant chief and civilian in Mandera County. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Mohammed Adao, Chief Wargadut East, together with his daughter, 8 years, Mr. Abdi Hassan Surau, Chief Quramudo, Mr. Abdi Hassan Kulmie, Chief Wargadut Town, Mr. Mohammed Nur Hache, Chief Chachabole Location, and Mr. Ibrahim Gabo, Chief Assistant Wargadut Town, were abducted in Wargadut Town, in Wargadut area in Mandera County on 3rd February 2025 and has been missing for the past 44 days. Mr. Speaker, the chief and assistant chiefs were on duty, official duty, traveling to Elwak Town to join Deputy County Commissioner for the security meeting preparation for His Excellency President William Ruto's week-long development tour of Northern Eastern Region. Mr. Speaker, such abduction has prolonged profound
Honorable
impact.
Senators, there is a lot of movement in the chamber. Honorable Senators, kindly take your seats. The good professor, kindly. Proceed, Senator Maria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, such abduction has prolonged profound impact on emotion, psychological, and financial well-being of affected families. Children in particular may end up in suffering from depression, behavioral changes due to the sudden disappearance of their parents, affecting the family. Affected families may face financial hardships and find it hard to navigate lives and afforded daily household needs, medical care, and other essential items, where those abducted were the primary breadwinners. The impact is even more devastating in these abducted were the primary. The impact is even more devastating in this holy month of Ramadan, where the affected families has to fully engage in prayers and fasting in the midst uncertainty of the whereabouts and well-being of their loved ones. Mr. Speaker, the abducted leaders play an important role in administration and local governance, maintaining peace and security, upholding the rule of law in Mandera County. The abduction has deeply affected the local community, disrupt local governance, and also threaten fragile security situation in Mandera County, which is highly terrorized to terrorized and region generally. Mr. Speaker, the abduction is indication of the growing risk faced by the local leaders, especially in Mandera County. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we condemn these tragic incidents, I call thorough investigation to identify and bring to justice those responsible for abductions. Mr. Speaker, the government, through the Ministry of Interior and National Administrations, must urgently take measures to ensure that all the available resources are deployed to secure an immediate and safe release of the chiefs, assistant chiefs, and civilians. Mr. Speaker, the Kenya Defense Forces and National Police Service must intensify operation in the area to locate and rescue these leaders and to neutralize the threats posed by abductor. Mr. Speaker, more specifically, I urge the government to prioritize the immediate and safe returns of these abducted leaders and civilians. Secondly, strengthen security forces and intelligence by enhancing border security and civilian. Mr. Speaker, the third one, strengthen a local infrastructure, education, and create economic opportunities to reduce the number of the person likely to be coerced by militant groups. Fourthly, provide physical support, financial assistance, community engagement program to help the affected families cope with their trauma and uncertainty of the well-being and whereabouts of their loved ones. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I also call upon the Ministry of Interior and the National Administration to provide regular and comprehensive reports on the efforts being made to rescue the abducted leaders to restore the security in Mandera. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Metho, your statement is stated. You may proceed now to read the same.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This is a statement on an issue of national concern. Tribute to the late Honorable J.M. Kariuki on the 50th anniversary of his death. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of national concern, namely to pay tribute to the late Honorable Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, known as J.M. Kariuki, a fearless patriot, a visionary leader, and a champion of social justice. As we mark 50 years since his assassination on the 2nd of March 1975, his life, legacy, and the values he stood for remain deeply relevant to our nation today. Honorable Speaker, J.M. Kariuki's advocacy for the common mwananchi shook the very foundations of power. He was a man who spoke truth to authority, unafraid to expose the widening gap between the wealthy elite and the struggling masses. His famous words, "Kenya is a country of 10 millionaires and 10 million beggars," still ring true even 5 decades later. Today, despite Kenyans' independence and economic progress, we find ourselves in a situation where a small elite controls the vast majority of wealth, while millions of citizens continue to struggle under the weight of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Born in 1929 in Kabati, Nyandarua County, J.M. Kariuki came from humble beginnings. Despite financial hardships, he pursued education, attending King's College, Budo in Uganda, an opportunity that broadened his political awareness. Inspired by Jomo Kenyatta's speeches, he became an ardent critic of colonial rule. Mr. Speaker, sir, J.M. Kariuki played an active role in the Mau Mau movement, serving as a liaison officer, organizing logistics for freedom fighters. This commitment led to his arrest in 1953, and he spent 7 years in detention camps under the British rule. Upon his release in 1960, he remained steadfast in his advocacy for justice, land reform, and economic equality. After Kenya's independence in 1963, he served as President Jomo Kenyatta's private secretary before becoming a member of parliament for Nyandarua North constituency. His legacy was defined by his outspoken critique of corruption, economic exploitation, and social injustice. Mr. Speaker, sir, J.M. Kariuki's courage made him a target. On the 2nd of March 1975, he was last seen at Hilton Hotel in Nairobi in the company of state security officials. Days later, his mutilated body was discovered in Ngong Forest, sparkling a national outrage. A parliamentary committee implicated senior police and government officers, yet no one has been held accountable, making his assassination one of Kenya's darkest political injustices. As we commemorate 50 years since his passing, we must ask ourselves, how have we upheld the ideals that he fought for? How have we made Kenya a land where all can thrive, not just survive? Sadly, his warnings remain a reality. While we may no longer speak of 10 million beggars, today 50 million Kenyans still face economic hardship, struggling to afford basic needs, access to health care, and secure decent employment. Mr. Speaker, sir, J.M. Kariuki stood for universal and accessible health care. Yet today, millions of Kenyans are trapped in a failing social health authority system, unable to get medical treatment when they need it most. He spoke against economic oppression. Yet today, the cost of living is suffocating Kenyans, with unfulfilled promises of relief and rising unemployment. This anniversary should not just be another ceremonial remembrance. It must be a moment of reflection and rededication to J.M. Kariuki's vision. We must demand greater accountability from ourselves, fellow leaders, champions of economic policies that uplift the poor, and work towards a Kenya that truly serves all its people, not just the privileged few. We cannot afford to let his sacrifice be in vain. May his soul continue resting in peace. May we never forget the lessons he left us. I thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, Senator Beatrice Ogola. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I understand the import of the statement by the Honorable Senator Medu and the difficulty you will have if you are to accept my request, being that given who JM was, and given that this is 50 years later, and given that JM spoke in this House, could you please try and allow us to say one word to comfort the family and encourage them that JM will never die?
I will, at the appropriate time, give guidance on that. Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a request for a statement on the poor living conditions of police officers' living quarters in Dewa Police Station in Homa Bay County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the poor living conditions of police officers in Dewa Police Station in Homa Bay County. In the statement, the committee should address the following, Mr. Speaker, sir. 1, the state of living quarters for police officers at Dewa Police Station in Homa Bay County, including the availability and condition of basic amenities such as water, as well as sanitation facilities. 2, the framework of the provision of housing and basic amenities to police officers by the government, including the measures put in place to ensure the facilities are regularly renovated and upgraded. 3,
The plans and timelines for the construction of decent living quarters for police officers at Ndewa Police Station, indicating the budgetary requirements for the same. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the actions being taken by the government to enhance the overall welfare of police officers, particularly with respect to their remuneration and support for their mental and physical well-being. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator John Matthew.
Honorable Speaker, I want to seek your indulgence that because I have 4 statements, I read them at a go, if you allow me.
Yes, you may proceed.
A request for statement on inequitable distribution of fertilizer by the National Cereals and Produce Board. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries regarding the inequitable distribution of fertilizer in the highland regions of Kenya as reflected in the latest report from the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, on fertilizer dispatch as at of 11th of March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the highland regions of Kenya, known for their high agricultural productivity, rely heavily on fertilizer to sustain food security and economic growth. However, a review of the fertilizer distribution data reveals significant disparities, with some counties receiving disproportionately large quantities, while others, equally dependent on the agriculture, receiving far less. For instance, Honorable Speaker, Uasin Gishu County received 413,000 bags, 103, accounting for 20.99% of the total fertilizer distribution, whereas counties such as Muranga received 7,650 bags, Nyeri received 8,760 bags, and Kirinyaga received 280 bags, which is significantly lower allocations despite their agricultural potential. Nakuru County received 204,764 bags, nearly 10% of the total allocation, while counties like Meru received 12,910 bags, and Tharaka Nithi got 5,940 bags received, which are significantly less. Some agricultural counties such as Marsabit and Saburu did not receive any fertilizer allocation at all, raising questions about regional balance in the distribution. In the statement, therefore, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the methodology and criteria used by the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, in determining the fertilizer allocations to various counties. Number 2, justification for the significantly low allocation to certain highland agricultural counties, despite their critical role in national food production. Number 3, the government's strategy to ensure fair and equitable distribution of fertilizer subsidies and to prevent the marginalization of key farming regions. Number 4, evidence on whether farmer registration data and actual county level demand were considered in the allocation process, and clarification on any inconsistencies identified. Number 5, corrective measures being implemented to address these disparities and ensure that all farmers have fair access to fertilizers. Senator John Medhu, Senator for Nyandarua. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the continued delay in the disbursement of Higher Education Loans Board funds, which has left thousands of university students stranded and unable to meet their basic needs. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite assurances from the government that help funds would be disbursed by Friday, 15th of March 2025, many students are yet to receive their financial aid. Students require immediate and tangible action, not verbal commitments that do not translate into actual disbursements. The failure to release funds in a timely manner has exposed thousands of young Kenyans to evictions, hunger, mental distress, and inability to attend classes due to unpaid fees. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the concrete measures being taken by the government to ensure the immediate disbursement of help funds, including a clear and accountable timeline for payment. Number 2, the total number of students affected by the delay with a county-based breakdown to assess the scale of the crisis, specifying the interventions in place to prevent future delays and guarantee timely and predictable disbursement to all students going forward. Number 3, the financial position of help, including the amount allocated for the current academic year, to the total disbursed so far and the outstanding balances. Number 4, the government's plan to enhance help allocation and to align with the rising cost of living, ensuring students receive adequate financial support. Number 5, there are accountability mechanisms in place to prevent the recurrence of such delays, including clarity on whether the National Treasury has released the required funds to help. Senator John Medhu, MP, Senator for Nyandarua County. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism regarding the capability of the management of the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperative Society, KUSCO, following financial losses suffered by Savings and Credit Cooperative Societies, SACCOs, in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, this matter is of national concern and urgent action has shaken the confidence of many Kenyans in the SACCO sector, which for a long time has been a safe haven for members' hard-earned savings. Therefore, this management must be queried and those responsible must face the full force of the law. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the extent of financial loss incurred by SACCOs across the county, and particularly Tower SACCO and Moki SACCO, SACCOs in Nyandarua County due to investment linked to KUSCO. Number 2, the culpability of KUSCO directors and senior management in the mismanagement of SACCO funds, including whether they acted negligently or fraudulently in handling investments. Number 3, the specific steps being undertaken to hold KUSCO directors accountable, including criminal investigation, potential asset seizures, and legal actions to recover lost funds. Senator John Muhia Medhu, MP, Senator for Nyandarua. Finally, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order, honorable senators. May the Senator for Nyandarua be heard in silence.
Thank you for protection, honorable Speaker. I see my colleagues are quite excited that I'm now very, very busy. I'm no longer a chairman, so I have a lot of time. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the rapid increase in Kenya's public debt and its implications for the economic stability, financial sustainability, and service delivery. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kenya's total public and publicly guaranteed debt has surged to Kenya shillings 11.02 trillion as of January 2025, accounting for 65.7% of the gross domestic product, GDP. This level of indebtedness exceeds the 55% GDP threshold recommended under the Public Financial Management, PFM framework. The rapid accumulation of debt is compounded by ballooning debt servicing costs, persistent fiscal deficit, and reliance on external borrowing on external borrowing. Of particular concern is the bilateral debt. Bilateral debt stands at 1.09 trillion, which China holds 60.6% of this amount. The country now faces the risk of being trapped in a debt cycle that threatens national sovereignty, economic growth, and service delivery. In the statement, therefore, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the measures being taken by government to ensure that Kenya's public debt remains within sustainable levels for safeguarding national development priorities. Number 2, the strategies in place to balance borrowing and revenue collection, particularly in light of Kenya's continued dependence on external financing for key infrastructure projects. Number 3, the status of physical consolidation measures aimed at reducing wasteful government expenditure and enhancing domestic revenue mobilization. 4, the government's plan to manage debt servicing obligations, including the steps being taken to renegotiate payment terms with major creditors such as China and multilateral lenders. Number 5, the impact of rising public debt on critical government services, including education, healthcare, and infrastructure, and whether there are plans to mitigate the economic burden of debt repayment on citizens. Number 6, and finally, the accountability mechanisms in place to curb reckless borrowing and ensure that all borrowed funds are utilized transparently, efficiently, and in line with national development priorities. Senator John Muhia Medhu, MP, Senator for Nyandarua.
Order, honorable senators, for the convenience of the House, allow me to rearrange today's order paper. We will come back to the remaining statements. However, we will now proceed straight to handle order number 11 all the way to order number 19. Thereafter, we resume normal flow of today's order paper. Clerk, you may proceed to order. Honorable senators, kindly take your seats.
Order number
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Order number 11, motion. Reports of the 63rd and 64th sessions of the OACPS Parliamentary Assembly and the 43rd and 1st sessions of the ACP-EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly meetings held in Brussels, Belgium, and Luanda, Angola, respectively. Question to be put. Order number 12, motion, consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Budget Policy Statement, Division. Order number 13, motion, consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy, Division. Order number 14, the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, Senate Bills number 36 of 2024, second reading, Division. Order number 15, the Environment Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 23 of 2024, second reading, Division. Order number 16, the County Civic Education Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2024, Division. Order number 17, the Heritage and Museums Bill, Senate Bills number 8 of 2023, second reading, Division. Order number 18, the County Library Services Bill, Senate Bills number 40 of 2024, second reading, Division. Order number 19, report of the Mediation Committee on the Conflict of Interest Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2023, Division.
Honorable senators, kindly do take your seats. Now, for order number 11, debate had been concluded. What pending was for the chair to put the question, which shall we proceed to put. That the Senate knows the reports of the 63rd session of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States Parliamentary Assembly and the 43rd session of the African, Caribbean, and Pacific European Union Joint Parliamentary Assembly meetings held in Brussels, Belgium from the 19th of the 28th to the 20th of June 2023, and 64th session of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States Parliamentary Assembly and the first session of the African, Caribbean, and Pacific EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly meetings held in Luanda, Angola from the 17th to the 21st February 2024, which were laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, the 6th of December 2023, and Wednesday, the 2nd of October 2024, respectively. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Now, for order number 12, this is division, and therefore we need not ring the bell for 1 minute. Honorable Senators, we have Senator Methu and Senator Beatrice. Honorable Senators, we have a very crucial exercise to undertake, which touches on our core mandate. I'll beseech you, Honorable Senators, instead of exiting the chamber, you do that once we are done with the division. I beseech you.
No, this is not good.
Well, the House is about to get into division stage, and this is with regards on the motion on consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Budget Policy Statement. This is a motion that is moved by the Chairperson Standing Committee on Finance and Budget, who's also the Mandera Senator, Honorable Ali Roba. And this particular motion, the Standing Committee seeks to have the House adopt that report that was laid on the table of the House on the Wednesday, 12th of March, the year 2025, for the House to adopt as well as approve the 2025 budget policy statement. So this is a motion whose debate and consideration was concluded on the floor of the House. And this afternoon, the members are preparing to get into division on this particular a motion with regards to that report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. This is with regards to the budget policy, 2025 budget policy statement. And the members, as we can see on the screen, is that they're trying to find out whether the House has the quorum at this point. At least 25 members will be required to vote on this particular motion. This is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 83. And this particular voting will be done by the county delegation. All right, let's listen in.
Kindly close the doors and draw the bar. Now, honorable senators, please take your seats so that we proceed. Honorable senators, Senator Boni. Order, honorable senators. Now, we'll start with order number 12, which has already been called out, so I'll proceed to put the question. Order number 12. Clerk, is the system up and running? All right. So I'll proceed to put the question. That the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 budget policy statement laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 12th of March 2025, and pursuant to sections 25(7) of the Public Finance Management Act and Standing Order 1867 of the Senate, approves the 2025 budget policy statement. Now, voting is going to be done electronically at this juncture. Honorable senators, just log out. Log out, and Sergeant at Arms, kindly remove the unattended. All the unattended cards, just pull out. Honorable Ledama, you may proceed. Sergeant at Arms, once you're done, let me know. Sergeant at Arms, you're good? Okay, you may log back. Honorable senators, kindly log in back. You log in and then proceed to vote. Either yes, no, or you may abstain. Voting is underway, honorable senators. So we will proceed, Senator Fatuma, and then once we are done with calling all these orders and voting on the same, we will then call upon those honorable senators who have encountered any technical problem to cast their vote. So, clerk, you tell me when we are ready to move to the next. Are we ready? Okay, prepare the system. We are now moving to order number 13, and I proceed. It's already been called, so I will proceed to pose the question. The Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 medium-term date management strategy laid on the table of Senate on Wednesday, 12th of March 2025. Honorable Senators, you may proceed to vote. Either yes, no, or you may elect to abstain. Voting is underway. Honorable Senators, we will now move to order number 14. It's already been called, so I'll put the question. That the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, Senate Bills number 36 of 2024, be now read a second time. You may now proceed to vote.
Well, the senators are now taking a vote on the public fundraising appeals bill also originating from the Senate. This is a bill that is sponsored by the Senate Majority Leader. Debate on it was concluded, and the members are now at the division stage for the bill to proceed to the next stage. This is a bill that seeks to provide for the establishment of regulatory mechanisms at the national and county levels, which oversee the conduct of fundraising appeals, to provide for the licensing and regulation of fundraisers, the promotion of transparency and accountability in the conduct of fundraising appeals, and also the regulation of the conduct by state and public officers in the participation in public fundraising appeals and in the administration of this particular legislation. This is a bill that is originating from the Senate, a bill that is about to proceed to the next stage, and the members are voting on it. We shall be seeing the results of this particular vote in just a short while. The bill protects the public from fraudulent, misleading. All right, let's listen in.
15. It's already been called, so I will proceed to put the question. That the Environment Laws Amendment Bills, Senate Bills number 23 of 2024, be now read a second time. You may proceed to vote now.
The senators are now taking a vote on the Environment Laws Amendment Bill. This is a bill also originating from the Senate and sponsored by Senator Abdul Haji. This is a bill that seeks to amend the Forest Conservation Management Act, Cap 385, to make the further provision for afforestation and reforestation of all forests, and to promote tree planting in all counties in Kenya generally. It further mandates the Kenya Forest Service to ensure the sourcing of tree seeds as well as seedlings that are suitable for the environment and climatic conditions of the various parts of Kenya, and establish tree nurseries in each county. This is a bill that also incorporates tax and fiscal incentives to boost investments in forest land use and utilization. Those are the results of the vote. That is the Environment Laws Amendment Bill, and this is a bill that seeks to incorporate tax and fiscal incentive to boost investments in forest land use and utilization. All right, let's listen in.
Order number 16. Honorable Senators, I'll proceed to put the question on order number 16, that the County Civic Education Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2024, be now read a second time. You may proceed to vote.
The County Civic Education Bill, this is a bill that is sponsored by the nominated Senator Esther Kinyuri. That is the bill that members are taking a vote on it right now. The purpose of this particular bill is to establish a legal framework for the promotion of civic education in Kenya as an essential tool for building responsible citizenship, civic engagement, and democratic values among the citizens of Kenya, or the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. This is a bill that seeks to address the gaps bearing in mind or acknowledging that civic education plays a critical role in shaping the attitudes, behaviors, and values. All right, let's listen in.
Clerk, are we ready? That's order number 17, is it? I'll proceed to put the question on order number 17, that the Heritage and Museums Bill, Senate Bills number 8 of 2023, be now read a second time. You may proceed to vote.
The Heritage and Museum Bill, Bill number 8 of 2023, that is currently being voted on for it to be read for a second time and proceed to the next stage, is an act of Parliament that seeks to provide for the conservation, preservation, protection, research, and management of cultural and natural heritage and national and county levels of government.
Honorable Senators, we now move to order number 18. I'll put the question that the County Library Services Bill, Senate Bills number 40 of 2024, be now read a second time. You may proceed to vote.
The County Library Services Bill, a bill also originating from the Senate, Bill number 40 of 2024, that is currently being voted on, is a bill that seeks to promote the establishment and use of libraries in counties so as to facilitate access to information, improve education standards, and reduce levels of illiteracy in the counties. This is a bill that seeks to establish libraries in each county to ensure that learners and the communities within the county have access to educational resources and information, promote literacy in counties, as well as support education, cultural and research activities by providing necessary resources and facilities. And this particular bill also seeks to ensure the preservation of cultural heritage of counties for future generations. This is a bill that concerns counties.
You cannot raise on a point of order. No? The standing orders are very clear on point of orders. What do you want to say, Senator Ledama? You seem to be struggling.
Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, I don't know whether you're allowing me now. Proceed. But I think you've allowed me. I raise understanding order 66 to request that the next order be deferred until another time.
So are you requesting that the putting of the question
be deferred until the next sitting?
It is so granted.
Thank
the
you.
Putting of the question on order number 19 is hereby deferred to a later date.
Well, the senators have concluded or are about to conclude on the division of some of the business that was lined up to go through the division stage this afternoon. We have seen earlier on the senators voted on the motion on the consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Budget Policy Statement. The motion on the consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2025 Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy also went through a division for the House to adopt as well as approve the proposals or the recommendations of the of that particular report from the Committee on Finance and Budget. The Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, a bill also originating from the Senate, also was voted on this afternoon. Remember, these are bills that are at their second reading stage. They are waiting to be declared to have been read for the second time, meaning that a debate on it was concluded. And at this particular point, once they're done at the second reading stage, they will be going into consideration at the Committee of the Whole, where in case there were amendments that were moved by the senators as the bills were being considered at the debate stage, then those amendments will be considered at the Committee of the Whole. So the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, the Environment Laws Amendment Bill has also been voted on for it to go into the next stage or to be read for the second time. The County Civic Education Bill is also yet another bill that at this stage or this point where senators are considering it at the division stage has also been voted on, or members have already cast their votes on this particular bill. The Heritage and Museums a bill also originating from the Senate and moved by the chairperson or sponsored by the chairperson, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare. Was also considered at this particular stage, with members taking a vote on it. This is a bill that was part of the bills that this afternoon, as the members are at the division stage, has also been considered. We have also seen the County Library Services Bill, sponsored by Senator Joyce Korir, also being considered at the division stage. The last business that was to be considered at the division stage was the report on the Mediation Committee on the Conflict of Interest Bill. However, we have seen the Senator for Narok standing on a point of order to request the Speaker that the consideration of this particular bill at the division stage be deferred to a later date. So this particular business is almost concluded on. We are just waiting for the communication from the Speaker with regards to these motions, 2 motions, as well as about 5 bills that have been considered at the division stage to be able to be concluded on. There are consultations, as you can see on your screens, at the table of the clerk as well as the table of the Speaker of the dispatch. And once those consultations are done, then we shall be having a communication from the Speaker on these particular bills and the division process that the members have just undertaken with regards to this bill. Perhaps we could be as well take a look again at what some of these bills entail. The County Library Services Bill is a bill that seeks to promote the establishment and use of libraries in counties so as to facilitate access to information, improve education standards, and reduce levels of illiteracy in the counties. These are some of the contents of the bill. These are bills, remember this is a bill that concerns county governments. And the mandate of the county governments is to approve and integrate the county libraries' annual work plan into the annual county budget. Also mobilize resources necessary for the delivery of library services in the respective county. Also allocate adequate funds and resources necessary for the effective development of libraries, and also collaborate with such entities as it may consider necessary for the development of capacity building and training programs for libraries or librarians in the county, and also in financing and mobilizing resources for the development and maintenance of county libraries. The county governments will also be required or mandated to provide the necessary resources for capacity building of the county library staff. This is a bill that, in case there were any amendments that were proposed during the debate stage, may be considered at the committee of the whole. The County Civic Education Bill, one of the bills that has gone through division this afternoon, seeks to establish a legal framework for the promotion of civic education in Kenya as an essential tool for building responsible citizenship, civic engagement, and democratic values among the citizens. There are gaps that have been identified that this particular bill seeks to come and seal. Some of the gaps include that civic education plays a critical role in shaping the attitudes, behaviors, and values of individuals towards their community, country, and the world at large. It enables citizens to understand their rights and responsibilities, participate actively in the governance of their country, and contribute to the development of their communities. However, despite the importance of civic education, Kenya currently lacks a comprehensive legal framework that provides for its promotion and regulation. Civic education activities are often fragmented, ad hoc, and insufficiently funded, resulting in low levels of civic awareness and engagement among the citizens. So these are some of the gaps that, as the members of the Senate consider this bill or this particular piece of legislation, it's a bill that seeks to address these gaps by establishing a legal framework that defines the roles and responsibilities of various stakeholders involved in civic education, including the national and county governments and non-governmental organizations. Its enactment its enactment into law will contribute significantly to the promotion of responsible citizenship, civic engagement, and democratic values among the citizens of Kenya, which are critical for building a prosperous, peaceful, and democratic nation. The House has just concluded on voting for a number of businesses that have been lined up for consideration this afternoon. 2 motions regarding the budget policy statement and medium-term debt management strategy, and bills whose debate were concluded at the second reading stage. The bills will be moving to the next stage after this particular stage of division for any amendments that may have been moved to be considered, and later into third reading once the consideration of any amendments that may have been proposed are considered. The Environment Laws Amendment Bill by Senator Abdul Haji has also been considered at the division stage this afternoon. This is a bill that seeks to amend the Forest Conservation Management Act, Cap 385, to make further provision for afforestation and reforestation of all forests, and to promote tree planting in all counties in Kenya generally. It further mandates the Kenya Forest Service to ensure the sourcing of tree seeds and seedlings that are suitable for environment and climatic conditions for various parts of the country, and establish tree nurseries in each county. This bill also amends the Climate Change Act, Cap 387A, to mandate the Cabinet Secretary responsible for matters relating to climate change to set and formulate strategies for achieving annual carbon sequestration targets. These are bills that debate was concluded on. This bill incorporates tax and fiscal incentives to boost investments in forest land use and utilization, as suggested by the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, following recommendations from the Cabinet Secretary responsible for forestry. Among these incentives are income, other tax deductions for private entities that participate in a tree planting program.
So, order, honorable senators, we have the results of the division. Now, on order number 12, the result of the division is as follows. The ayes are 28, the nays at 0, and abstention at 0. So the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the regulation in the conduct of public fundraising appeals, to promote transparency and accountability in the carrying out of fundraising appeals, to foster greater philanthropy, to regulate the conduct of public officers in relation to public fundraising appeals, and for connected purposes.
All right, just for clarity, I'm going to read the results once again on order number 12. That is on the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. So the ayes as 28, abstention at 0, and nays at 0. So the ayes have it. We move to order number 13. Ayes 27, abstention 0, nays 1. So the ayes have it. That is a report on the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the medium-term debt management strategy. We move to order number 14. The ayes as the nays at 2, the ayes at 25, abstention at 0. So the ayes have it. That is the Public Fundraising Appeals Bill.
The Public Fundraising Appeals Bill, a bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the regulation in the conduct of public fundraising appeals, to promote transparency and accountability in the carrying out of fundraising appeals, to foster greater philanthropy, to regulate the conduct of public officers in relation to public fundraising appeals, and for connected purposes.
The result of the division on the environmental laws, ayes at 27, abstention at 0, and the nays at 0. So the ayes have it.
The Environment Laws Amendment Bill 2024, a bill for an act of parliament to amend the Forest Conservation and Management Act to make further provision for afforestation and reforestation in Kenya, to promote tree planting in all counties, to amend the Climate Change Act to provide for the setting and formulation of strategies to achieve carbon sequestration targets, and for connected purposes.
The result of the division on the County Civic Education Bill, nays 27, abstention 0, and nays 0. So the ayes have it.
The County Civic Education Bill 2024, a bill for an act of parliament to provide a legal framework for undertaking civil education in counties.
The result of the division on the Heritage and Museum Bill, nays 27, abstention 0, nays 0. So the ayes have it.
The Heritage and Museums Bill 2023, a bill for an act of parliament to provide for the conservation, preservation, protection, research and management of cultural and natural heritage at national and county levels of government and for connected purposes.
The result on the division on the County Library Services Bill, the nays at the yes at 27, abstention 0, and the nays at 0. So the ayes have it.
The County Library Services Bill 2024, a bill for an act of parliament to provide for the establishment of county libraries in each county, the establishment of a county library development committee in each county, the functions and powers of each county library development committee, and for connected purposes.
Sergeant at Arms, you may now withdraw the bar and open the doors. Now, honorable senators, we will resume the where we resume the natural flow of today's order paper. That means we go back to statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. Senator Fak.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the operations of Bandari Maritime Academy in Mombasa County. Senator Ojenda. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Bandari Maritime Academy in Mombasa County is a regional center of excellence for maritime skills development in the blue economy. However, in the recent times, the institution has faced several challenges, including delayed salary payments for the lecturers, irregular fee payment structures, and the absence of a clear framework for placing students in industrial attachment. These challenges, if not resolved, impact the academy's operations and identity status as a learning institution. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the delay in the timely payment of lecturers' salary, which has led to demotivation and reduced the efficiency in carrying out their duties. Number two, the college's failure to provide maritime students with the essential sea practical training. Number three, the need to standardize tuition fees in line with other institutions offering similar courses and ensure regularized payment of fees to alleviate the financial burden on students and the parents. And number four, the criteria the college should adopt to facilitate placement of students in relevant industries for their industrial attachment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Senator Mohamed Faki Munyaji, Mombasa County.
Senator Hamida Kibwana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have two statements. One on non-compliance by county governments with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, directives of budgetary caps for rent expenditure for top officials. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the non-compliance by county governments with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, directives on budgetary caps for rent expenditure for top officials. Mr. Speaker, sir, in May 2029, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, issued a circular directing all county governments to cease paying rent for governors, deputy governors, and county assembly speakers. Additionally, the SRC mandated that these counties ensure the construction of official residence of these officials by June 30th, 2022. Failure to adhere to this policy has resulted in significant financial losses, as some counties continue to spend millions of shillings monthly on rent. In the statement, the committee should address the following. County governments that have disregarded the SRC directives on capping rent expenditures for top officials, specifying the amount of public funds spent beyond the establishment limits. Number two, counties that have failed to comply with the SRC directive issued in March 2019, which required the completion of official residence of governors, deputy governors, and county assembly speakers by June 30th, 2022. Number three, funds allocated for the construction of these official residence, highlighting counties where such projects have stalled or have not commenced despite budgetary provisions. Number four, policy and legal measures being implemented by the National Treasury, the Controller of Budget, the Commission on Revenue Allocation to strengthen enforcement mechanism and ensure compliance with SRC guidelines to prevent further misuse of public funds. Finally, disciplinary measures taken against county officials who have ignored SRC directives and authorized excessive rent expenditures contrary to established guidelines. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll go to the second one. The second one is on the shutdown of the Kenya Health Information System, KHIS, and impact on health data management. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the shutdown of Kenya Health Information System, formerly known as the District Health Information System, DHIS, and its implications to health data management in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kenya Health Information served as a central nationwide health reporting database, playing a crucial role in collecting, analyzing, and disseminating health data to inform decision-making in the healthcare sector. The system was hosted by the Health IT Department of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, which provided both technical and financial support. Its recent shutdown raises significant concerns about the continuity of health data tracking, disease surveillance, and healthcare resource planning. In the statement, the committee should address the following: whether the Minister of Health had an exit strategy or a handover process to ensure the continuity of health data management following USAID's exit from Kenya. Number two, the government's plan to restore or replace KHIS, including measures to ensure the long-term sustainable and national ownership of health data management systems, along with the associated costs. Number three, the impact of the shutdown on healthcare service delivery, disease surveillance, and policy planning, particularly in tracking outbreaks and managing national health programs, and how these crucial services will be managed, given the time-sensitive nature of disease surveillance. Number four, whether any sensitive Kenyan health data has been lost, compromised, or accessed by unauthorized parties following the KHIS shutdown. Finally, Kenya's engagement with other partners in the development and maintenance of the KHIS, and what measures are in place to safeguard the nation's health data sovereignty in the future. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Richard Onyonka. Senator Richard Onyonka had 3 statements. Any senator holding a brief for Honorable Onyonka? May I have your written authorization, Senator Omtata? I have allowed honorable senators to transact businesses that are not theirs only later for the honorable senator whom you're holding brief for walking to my office complaining. And that's why I made that communication the other day, that for you to transact any business for and on behalf of a colleague, at least let us have a written authorization. Even a text, I will go with it. I don't want Senator Onyonka to storm my office and distance himself from your good gesture, Honorable Omtata. Okay, so then we will drop those 3 statements. Senator Edwin Sifuna.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the non-settlement of insurance policy maturity claims by the Corporate Insurance Company Limited. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the total value of outstanding insurance policy maturity claims at Corporate Insurance Company Limited, including the duration for which these claims have remained unpaid, and the number of affected policyholders. Number 2, the causes of the delay in settlement of the claims and the timelines for resolving the issues. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, the current financial position of Corporate Insurance Company Limited, including whether the company is stable enough to guarantee the security of existing insurance policies. Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I want to take the second statement. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the delay and failure to remit capitation funds to public schools currently amounting to Kenya shillings 64 billion in arrears. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the reasons why the National Treasury has failed to release capitation funds despite the urgent cash flow challenges facing public schools across the country. Number 2, the long-term strategies in place to prevent delays in the disbursement of capitation and ensure continuous funding for school operations, infrastructure, and payment of suppliers. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, the safeguards being implemented to protect school principals and management from potential legal and financial liabilities due to unpaid suppliers and increasing pressure from other stakeholders. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I've taken both statements. Okay. Thank you.
Now we move to Honorable Senator James Lomenan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations regarding the status of retrieval of bodies of Kenya fishermen that were killed by suspected militiamen from Ethiopia in Todonyang area along the Kenya-Ethiopia border on 22nd February 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, during a visit to the area on 24th February 2025, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration made several commitments, including the formation of a specialized security and rescue team to retrieve the bodies of the victims and to provide medical assistance to survivors, and B, deployment of 2 modern boats to boost the search and rescue efforts. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the status of fulfillment of the commitments by the Cabinet Secretary. 2, the progress made in the retrieval of the bodies of the victims of the attack by suspected militiamen from Ethiopia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mtata, you may now proceed to read the 3 statements by Senator Richard Onyonka. I have seen the text authorizing you to do so.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare regarding ghost workers in the public service. In the statement, I request that the committee addresses the following: whether any audits or investigations by the Public Service Commission and county public service boards to eliminate ghost workers from the national and county government payrolls. If so, provide the full findings. 2, the financial impact of ghost workers on national and county government expenditures disaggregated by the national government and each respective county government since the operationalization of devolved government in 2013. 3, the short, medium, and long-term measures that the national government and respective county governments have taken to identify and eliminate ghost workers from their payroll systems, outlining the strategies implemented to recover any misappropriated funds. 4, any disciplinary or legal actions taken against officials at the national and county government levels who have been found culpable of facilitating or failing to prevent the existence of ghost workers. This was given a statement by Senator Muma, not by Onyonka. Although Muma had also asked me to read.
I do not have the authorization.
Huh?
If you give me the authorization for Senator Muma, you may take them at a go. Yes, you may proceed.
So that's a statement by Senator Catherine Muma, MP, nominated senator, dated 19th March, 2025.
Senator Onyonka had 3 statements. No, Senator Mtata, you may proceed to read Senator Onyonka's statements. I've seen the text.
Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health regarding the availability, accessibility, and affordability of rehabilitation services across counties to address substance and alcohol abuse. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the status of deliberations by Intergovernmental Sectoral Committee on Health comprising the Council of Governors, Health Committee, and the Ministry of Health on facilitating access to rehabilitation services for Kenyan youth struggling with substance and alcohol abuse, and the strategies being adopted by the national and county levels at the national and county levels to address this crisis. The number of registered rehabilitation centers per county, distinguishing between public and private facilities, their bed capacities, and whether they have sufficient personnel, including medical professionals, caregivers, and counselors, to cater to the rising demand for rehabilitation services. The frequency of inspections, that's 3, the frequency of inspections conducted by a national authority for the campaign against drug abuse, NACADA, and other oversight bodies to ensure that rehabilitation centers comply with operational standards and quality care requirements. 4, the measures in place to ensure that rehabilitation services remain affordable and accessible, particularly for vulnerable groups, minors and low-income individuals. 5, the preventive strategies established to curb alcohol and drug abuse, and whether there is a coordinated approach among key stakeholders, including government agencies, private sector actors, and community organizations. 6, the key challenges facing the establishment and operation of rehabilitation centers and interventions in place to address these challenges. Statement by Senator Catherine Muyeka Muma, MP, nominated senator, dated 18th March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the decision by the Ministry of Education to remove mathematics as a compulsory subject for senior school pupils under the competency-based curriculum, brackets KBC. This decision has sparked widespread debate and raised serious concerns about its potential impact on the education quality, career readiness, and national development. Mathematics is not just a subject, it's a fundamental skill essential for daily life, from finance and business to engineering, construction, and analytical problem solving. Removing it as a core subject risks producing a generation of ill-equipped to compete in a technology-driven global economy. Mr. Speaker, sir, this move threatens to reverse Kenya's progress in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, brackets STEM, education, which is crucial for industrialization, innovation, and economic growth. Mathematics plays a pivotal role in fostering critical thinking, innovation, and informed decision-making. If implemented, this policy change could have far-reaching consequences for learners and the country's future workforce. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the rationale behind the decision to remove mathematics as a compulsory subject and its projected impact on students' competencies and career prospects. How this decision aligns with Kenya's Vision 2030 and other national development goals that prioritize STEM, education, and industrialization. 3, whether adequate consultations were conducted with the key stakeholders, including parents, teachers, education experts, and employers, before implementing this policy change. 4, measures that will be put in place to ensure Kenyan learners remain globally competitive, particularly in STEM-related fields. Signed, Senator Richard Onyonka, MP, Senator for Kisii County, date 18th March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations regarding the fate of Ms. Margaret Ndutama Sharia, a Kenyan citizen who has been sentenced to death in Vietnam over a drug trafficking offense. In the statement, I request the committee to address the following. 1, the measures being taken by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to ensure that Ms. Macharia receives fair legal representation abroad and to explore the possibility of her repatriation to Kenya for trial under our judicial system. 2, efforts being made to plead for clemency and on humanitarian grounds to have Ms. Macharia's death sentence commuted to life imprisonment or an alternative penalty, and whether diplomatic negotiations are underway to facilitate her repatriation to Kenya so that she may serve her sentence within our justice system. 3, number of Kenyan citizens currently incarcerated abroad, specifically the nature of the charges they face, and detail the diplomatic efforts being undertaken to safeguard their rights and welfare. 4, security lapses at Kenyan airports, particularly Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, brackets JKIA, regarding the trafficking of prohibited substances from 2022 to date, and outline the measures being implemented to strengthen airport security checks to prevent future occurrences. Signed, Senator Richard Onyonka, MP, Senator for Kisii County, date 19th March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the governance concerns and leadership transitions at the Kenya Literature Bureau, brackets KLB. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the procurement processes for the award by the Kenya Literature Bureau, brackets KLB, of all currently active contracts for publishing and supply of various books, including the merits of each award, as well as the nature and extent of involvement of the Ministry of Education in the processes. 2, the process followed by KLB to acquire printing and binding machines in the 2024-2025 financial year, including whether due diligence was undertaken and, where it was not, whether disciplinary actions have been undertaken against the responsible officials. 3, the renewal of contracts for officers holding managerial positions at KLB, including whether due process was followed. 4, reasons why the renewal of contracts for the officers was not gazetted, and the corrective actions taken to address the issue. 5, whether the human resource practices at KLB during appointments, promotion, and salary reviews adhere to principles of equity and fairness. Signed, Senator Richard Onyonka, EBS, MP, Senator for Kisii County, date 19th March 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Tom Ojenda. However, before Professor you take to the floor, we have Senator Gloria Oroba at the bar. Now, Senator Gloria Oroba, when you last appeared and sat at the bar, you were unable to fulfill conditions for you to be readmitted to the chamber. Those conditions were pursuant to a resolution of this House. You're back today. You may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. I'm waiting for the... It's okay. Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if it's okay. Yes, I was unable to fulfill. And Speaker, after being guided by the leader of majority and after being guided by... I sought counsel within the House and outside. And Speaker, I am going to read the apology without any omission, and I am going to fulfill, because that is a procedure of the House. But Speaker, allow me to say that to issue the disclaimer as advised. I, Senator Gloria Oroba, on this day, on 20th March, I will tender the prescribed apology herein as a requirement and a fulfillment of the Senate resolution, with a disclaimer that these are not my words and in no way does it infer a confession or any admission whatsoever of liability on my part, and it shall not prejudice my case in court where I have been sued by Jeremiah Nyegenye, the Clerk of the Senate. Speaker, I proceed to read the apology, the prescribed apology. Mr. Speaker, I, Senator Gloria Oroba, hereby tender my unreserved apology to this Senate, honorable senators, Clerk of the Senate, and the Secretariat of Parliament for having acted in a manner which, pursuant to Section 16E and paragraph 7 and 8 of the 4th Schedule to the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act 2017, constituted a breach of parliamentary privilege that reflected adversely on the dignity and integrity of Parliament and its members, and was contrary to the best interests of Parliament and its members. I undertake that I shall abide by the responsibilities of leadership as set out in the Constitution, the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act 2017. I therefore beseech. I thank you. And submit.
Senator Gloria, you are hereby admitted back to the chamber. Senator Professor Ojenda, you may proceed to read your statements.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a number of statements. I will quickly start with the first one. The first statement, Mr. Speaker, is on the state of media freedom and working conditions for journalists in Kisumu County. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology regarding the state of media freedom and the working condition of journalists in Kisumu County, following the resignation of nearly half of the staffers at Color TV, a leading vernacular TV station based in Kisumu County, due to delayed salaries and poor working conditions. In the statement, the committee should, 1, provide details on the challenges faced by journalists in Kisumu County, including delayed salaries, poor working conditions, job insecurity, and any instances of intimidation or violations of press freedom. 2, clarify whether the Media Council of Kenya, MCK, and other relevant regulatory bodies have taken any steps to address the grievances of journalists at Color TV and other media houses facing similar difficulties. 3, indicate whether any investigations or interventions by labor rights organizations and media regulatory bodies are currently underway regarding the working conditions of journalists in Kisumu County. 4, explain the measures in place to ensure the sustainable funding and operations and stability of local media houses, especially in light of economic challenges affecting the industry. And lastly, provide details of any planned policy interventions or legislative measures aimed at safeguarding rights and welfare of journalists in Kenya, particularly in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, my second statement is on the discontinuation of the Higher Education Loans Board Student Loan Facility or HELP to students of Kenya School of Law. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education regarding the discontinuation of HELP loan facility to students of Kenya School of Law, KSL. In the statement, the committee should, 1, provide reasons for the discontinuation of HELP loan facility to students of KSL, stating whether any consultations were undertaken with key stakeholders that informed the decision. 2, set out the steps taken to reinstate the student loan facility to ensure continued support to many qualified by financially disadvantaged students currently undertaking or seeking admission to the Advocates Training Program, ATP, at KSL. 3, provide the possibility of introducing the alternative funding mechanisms, including the establishment of a dedicated government-managed student loan facility to cater for postgraduate students and others doing professional courses at ATP. Lastly, address other initiatives by the Ministry of Education, the Council of Legal Education, CLE, KSL, and HELP to address financial barriers to legal education, which include the requirement to pay 70% of tuition fees upfront, and whether KSL could consider adopting a staggered payment fee plan. Mr. Speaker, my third statement is on the financial sustainability, relevance, and the future of Postal Corporation of Kenya, POSTA. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information, Communication, and Technology regarding the financial sustainability, relevance, and future of Postal Corporation of Kenya in the digital era. Mr. Speaker, POSTA was once a vital communication and logistics hub in Kenya. However, in today's fast-paced digital economy, where emails, SMSs, and private courier services have replaced traditional mail, serious concerns arise.
For Senator Agenda, what's your issue, Senator, for Kakamega?
Keeping with my calling as the whip, I wish to appeal to you to allow me to briefly move up a small procedural motion regarding, Mr. Speaker, the issue of the chair. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion: that pursuant to Standing Order number 107, 1C of the Constitution, and Standing Order number 18, the Senate elects Senator Lelegwe Lutumbesi, MP, to preside over the sitting of the Senate for the remainder of the day. Today, Thursday, 20th March 2025, in the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and members of the Speaker's panel. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I request Senator Joyce Korir to second me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As read by my leader, able leader, I want to say that Honorable Lelegwe is up to the task, and I second.
Now, Honorable Senators, as you're aware, the chair is human. And it is on record that the Deputy Speaker and Senator Veronica have just been called on a very important meeting, state meeting. Now, Senator Muma is in New York. Senator Haji just left today for Umrah. And therefore, the Presidium has been left to only one person, the Speaker. Now, the chair is human. I cannot take a break even for a minute before adjourning this House. If you will, I can adjourn this House for half an hour. You allow me to respond to natural calls of nature. Or we don't interrupt flow of today's business by allowing Senator Lelegwe, MP, who has been on this chair previously, who is extremely familiar with the dealings of the chair, to take over here till the very end. This being a procedural motion, it need not be put to debate. So therefore, I'll proceed to put the question. That pursuant to Article 107, 1C of the Constitution, and Standing Order 18, the Senate elects Senator Lelegwe Lutumbesi, MP, to preside over the sitting of the Senate for the remainder of the day, today, Thursday, the 20th of March, 2025, in the absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker and the members of the Speaker's panel. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Proceed, Prof.
On the statement on financial sustainability, relevance, and future of Postal Corporation of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, Posta was once a vital communication and logistics hub in Kenya. However, in today's paced digital economy, where emails, SMSs, and private courier services have replaced traditional mail, serious concerns arise as to whether continued government investment in Posta is a prudent use of public resources. The corporation has faced several financial distress with a debt burden of Kenya shillings 9 billion and consistent dependence on government bailouts. While there have been recent reports of modest profitability, these gains remain marginal compared to the institution's financial obligations and operational inefficiency. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should, 1, provide an update on Posta's financial position, including its current liabilities, revenue streams, and profitability prospects in the light of Kenya's 9 billion debt burden, outlining any PPPs or alternative funding mechanisms being explored to make Posta self-sustaining and reduce its reliance on taxpayers' money. 2, assess whether continued funding of Posta is a prudent economic decision given the evolving technological landscape and emerging market alternatives, and clarify the government's strategic plan for Posta's future, particularly in the context of digital transformation and competition from private logistic providers such as DHL, Fargo, and G4S. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, explain the status of Posta's modernization efforts, including its potential role in e-commerce, logistics, and digital government services, and state whether there are plans to restructure, privatize, phase out, considering its declining relevance and continued dependence on public funds. Mr. Speaker, the third statement is on the security of funds of members of SACCOs or cooperative societies. Mr. Speaker, this statement has been read this afternoon by Mr. John Matthew. I will not read it again. My other statement, Mr. Speaker, is on the operational inefficiency and the current delays of scheduled flights by KQ, Kenya Airways. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to request a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads and Transportation regarding the operational inefficiency, reliability, and governance of Kenya Airways KQ, with a particular focus on the recurrent and excessive delays affecting the scheduled flights. KQ, christened the Pride of Africa, as it then was, and being our national flag carrier, bears a profound responsibility to uphold service excellence, operational integrity, and efficiency. However, Mr. Speaker, the incessant delays and cancellation of scheduled flights, both domestic and international, have disrupted travel plans, undermined confidence in the airline, and raised serious concerns regarding its capacity and management. It is imperative, Mr. Speaker, that a thorough scrutiny is conducted to establish the root causes and provide a sustainable framework for corrective action. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, the committee should, 1, provide a detailed breakdown of the number of aircrafts owned and leased by KQ, their deployment for domestic and international routes, and the extent to which the available fleet meets the demands of air travel. 2, disclose the airline's ownership status, including principal shareholders, asset ownership, and the terms and duration and financial implications of leasing arrangements for aircraft and related operational equipment. 3, provide a comprehensive analysis of the primary causes of delays in scheduled domestic and international flights with a focus on recent disruptions while examining KQ's existing partnerships, code-sharing agreements, and interdependencies with other carriers, assessing whether these agreements, Mr. Speaker, contribute to service disruptions and outline the immediate and long-term strategies in place to rectify these issues. 4, clarify whether KQ has an adequate number of pilots, engineers, and essential personnel to efficiently execute its flight schedules and outline any ongoing or planned measures to bridge any human resource gaps. 5, outline the airline's protocols on passenger communication, compensation, and service recovery when flights are delayed or cancelled, and evaluate whether these measures align with international best practices. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, confirm KQ's compliance with the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, KCA regulations, and any penalties or corrective directives issued due to operational shortcomings. Mr. Speaker, my next statement is on the safety of adequacy of administrative units in Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Order 51 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security and Defense regarding the adequacy of administrative units in Kisumu County and their capacity to effectively serve the growing population. Mr. Speaker, the establishment of well-structured administrative units is vital for efficient governance, security, and equitable resource distribution. As Kisumu County continues to grow, Mr. Speaker, it is imperative to assess whether the existing administrative framework is sufficient to meet the needs of the people. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should address the following. 1, state the total number of administrative units in Kisumu County, including sub-counties, divisions, locations, and sub-locations, and indicate whether these units were aligned with the current population distribution and service delivery needs. 2, clarify whether the government has received any requests from local leaders, communities, or stakeholders regarding the creation of additional administrative units to enhance governance and public service delivery. 3, explain the criteria used by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, determine the adequacy of units and whether Kisumu County meets these thresholds, highlighting any plans to establish new units in Kisumu County. Lastly, outline measures the government is putting in place to strengthen the capacity of existing units to effectively address issues of security, development, and public service. Mr. Speaker, my last statement is on the killing of fishermen in Ethiopia, in Todonyang, along Kenya-Ethiopia border. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Order 53.1 to seek a statement of the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations. And the committee should, 1, state the status of investigation of the incident, providing details on the circumstances leading to the brutal attacks of Kenyan fishermen in Ethiopia border, state measures being taken to ensure justice for the victims, including details of any diplomatic efforts to settle the issue with the Ethiopian government, set out the measures put in place to assist the affected families, including whether the government is providing psychological assistance and compensation to the families, and set out the action taken by the government to enhance security along Kenya-Ethiopian border to prevent recurrence of similar incidences. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Lands, Environment and Natural Resources regarding the operations of Katelembo Adhiani Mputi Farming and Ranching Cooperative Society in Machakos County. In the statement, the committee should, 1, table the original survey map of the area measuring 11,967 hectares occupied by the Katelembo Adhiani Mputi Farming and Ranching Cooperative Society in Machakos County, including all the areas designated for public utility. 2, provide the original ballot allotment lists of the land, disclosing details of all allottees of the land and their respective plot numbers. 3, assess the authenticity of the title deeds in all other documents related to the land, including survey plans, multation forms, and deed plans. 4, outline the steps being taken to ascertain the legitimate landowners, including the individuals who have inhabited the Miwongoni Dam area over a prolonged period, and to address the claims of forced relocation of the landowners and individuals by land speculators colluding with the officials of the cooperative society. And 5, explain the measures in place to ensure transparency and accountability in the compensation of project affected persons, PAPs, in respect of the Miwongoni River Dam project, in order to ensure rightful compensation of legitimate landowners in the long-term inhabitation of the Miwongoni Dam area. Senator Agnes Kavindu Mudhama MP, Senator Machakos. Another statement, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Health regarding the acute blood shortage in the country. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the current state of blood transfusion services in the country, including details of available blood banks and laboratories reagents. 2, the reasons behind the persistent blood shortage in the country and the measures currently being taken by the Ministry of Health and the Kenya Blood Transfusion and Transplant Services, KBTTS, to ensure the consistent availability of blood transfusion services and blood reagents in the country. And 3, the measures and strategies in place to enhance public education and awareness campaigns regarding the reluctance of Kenyans to donate blood, and to demystify the reasons, myths, and beliefs that may lead to this reluctance. Senator Agnes Kavindu, MP, Machakos County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mutinda.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Finance and Budget in regards to the delayed response of commercial banks lending rates to changes in the central bank rate. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the factors contributing to the delayed response of commercial banks lending rates to changes in the central bank rate. 2, the steps being taken by the Central Bank of Kenya to enhance the effectiveness of CBR as the monetary policy tool, ensuring that financial institutions adjust their lending rates in a timely manner without further action or any further delay or intervention from the CBK. 3, recommendations on policies and practices that CBK could adopt from the Federal Reserve in the United States of America, European Central Bank, and the Bank of England to ensure seamless economic adjustments in response to changes in the monetary policy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chute. Those two statements are dropped. We will defer the statement by Senator Mundigi, defer the statement by Senator Veronica Maina. We now move to statements pursuant to Standing Order 57-1. The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a statement pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1, which is to present the business for the week commencing Tuesday, the 1st of April 2025, when we resume from recess. As honorable senators are aware, at the rise of the House today, the Senate will proceed on recess until Tuesday, 1st of April 2025, pursuant to the Senate calendar. Consequently, the Senate Business Committee has not scheduled any business for next week. Mr. Speaker, sir, the status of legislative business pending before the Senate is as follows. 57 bills are pending conclusion in the Senate, of which 45 are at the second reading stage and 12 are at the committee of the whole stage. 30 motions are pending conclusion, 26 petitions are pending conclusion, out of which 18 are due for reporting by the respective standing committees, and 532 statements pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 are pending conclusion by the respective standing committees. Upon the resumption of regular sittings on Tuesday, 1st of April 2024, the SBC will meet to consider the business for the week. The tentative business for that day will include business not concluded from today's order paper, as well as business indicated in the notice paper. The tentative business for the morning sitting on Wednesday, 2nd April, will include the schedule of questions to the Cabinet Secretaries as approved by the Senate Business Committee, as well as motions. The questions include: A, question number 2 to the CS for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora. Question number 7 to the CS for Cooperatives. Number 42 also to the same CS. Number 34 to the CS for National Treasury. Number 35 to the National Treasury. And 48, as well as question number 37 to the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forest. The tentative business for the afternoon sitting on Wednesday, 2nd April 2025 will include business not concluded from Tuesday's order paper and the following: bills, which is a statutory instruments amendment bill, the County Wards Equitable Development Bill, County Statistics Bill, County Government State Officers Removal Procedures Bill, the Creative Economy Support Bill, the Livestock Protection and Sustainability Bill, the County Governments Amendment Bill. The bills are the Committee of the Whole is County Public Finance Laws, the Street Vendors Protection Bill, Land Amendment Bill, Cooperative Societies, Establishment of the National Teaching and Referral Hospitals in Kenya, Consolidation of Bursary Funds for the Equitable Access to Education in Kenya. The projected business for Thursday, 3rd April 2025 will include business not included in the order paper for Tuesday, the 1st of April 2025, Wednesday, the 2nd April 2025, and any other business scheduled by the SBC. In conclusion, as honorable senators will note from today's order paper, orders number 9 to 15 are scheduled for division, with 2 of them relating to critical business, which I am glad to report, Mr. Speaker, that we have since considered, albeit late and out of time, which is rather unfortunate, but glad nonetheless that we have done so. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you and hereby lay the statement on the table of the Senate. Thank you.
Now, honorable senators will allow comments. Clerk, can you restate our system, because I am unable to pick any name from my dashboard. Okay, honorable senators, we will allow comments on the statements that have been requested. Senator Essie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would wish to know whether you are agreed to comments on the general statement that Senator Methu gave on the 50th anniversary.
Yes, pursuant to Standing Order Number 1, I will allow comments on that particular statement.
Thank you for that consideration. I might not be conversant with very many of the events then, but then as a student of history, I read a lot about the late J.M. Kariuki, and most of the activities then influence our politics currently. And of notable intent that I would want to actually mark out is that J.M. Kariuki defended the poorest of the poor in society, and on the issue of land that we are currently battling still to date, Mr. Speaker. So as we mark 50 years since his demise, I want to send my sympathies to the family, and I wish that some of those issues he fought about then, we still actually look deeply into those issues so that we move forward as a country. Mr. Speaker, I also want to comment on the statement by Senator Methu and Senator Professor Ojenda on HELB loan. Mr. Speaker, I'm a beneficiary of the HELB loan. So once students miss the HELB loan, it's actually affecting them in terms of accommodation, meals. We have students who are coming from very poor backgrounds who are relying on these monies to support them, Mr. Speaker. Imagine a situation where students who are not able to get this money, they are not able even to report back to their universities and places of study. So, Mr. Speaker, on that note, I would also wish to encourage beneficiaries of the HELB loan to pay back. Once you've been able to successfully get a job, make it a point of urgency to pay back that money so that other students from very needy areas can benefit from this loan. And finally, I want to support the statement by Senator Sifuna on delayed capitation to schools. Mr. Speaker, heads of schools are having a very hard time. I do not even know how they are going to prevent strikes, because we are not going to expect heads of school to use their own money to run the school. So I want to implore the government that we prioritize sending capitation to school so that heads of school can pay, even support staff money, can provide food for the students so that we are able to keep our students in school. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to comment. I will wish to begin with a statement by Honorable Ojenda in relation to delayed flights of KQ. Mr. Speaker, it is true that Kenyans traveling can get very inconvenienced, but at times this happens when something goes wrong with an aircraft or it fails to take off from another destination and therefore disrupts the rest of the events of the flights. And then also a flight takes off, develops problems airborne, and comes back. And that happened one time, Mr. Speaker, to the flight to New York. And people were stranded at the airport, although efforts were made to make them comfortable for many, many hours, and eventually messed up the whole schedule of the New York flights, which was a big favor from the American government so that it could make travel easy. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, there is a need to make sure that the management is assisted by this House to make sure that our destination is reliable and the people wish to use our branded aircraft. The second issue is on the abduction of the chiefs by Mariam. Mr. Speaker, it is very surprising that up to today, chiefs who are first security people, who are usually accompanied by police officers who are armed, who are going to plan an event where the president is going to visit a part of Kenya, and which is a very serious security issue, even for the president himself, get abducted and up to today have never been recovered either by the armed forces or the police forces, Mr. Speaker. That means if a chief who is well secured in an area in Northeastern can be abducted, then any Kenyan there, or even any Kenyan in Kenya, can easily be abducted and they find themselves outside jurisdiction. Mr. Speaker, I think this is a very important petition, and we should really do our level best as a House to make sure, first and foremost, these chiefs are found alive and safe, and to make sure that Kenyans are safe in the country. And the biggest responsibility goes to the President, the Defense Forces, and the Ministry of Interior. Every effort should have been made by now to make sure they are back. However, abductions are not a new thing in the country. We've battled with quite a number recently. We had an MCA who was abducted 8 months ago and was released recently. The circumstances have not yet been explained. And our own Senator Mutata had a huge squad to his house, ready to abduct him in one of the evenings, but luckily he had left the place. Therefore, any one of us can have trouble. The final one is the one by Honorable Kavindu, in terms of, in relation to the farming cooperative, where land is being stolen right, left, center, and where even there's a dam called Miwongo, where I had an opportunity to visit with my sister, Senator Kavindu, and then I realized for those who are about to be compensated, those pieces of land have been interchanged with others, because the government is about to compensate residents so that they could have a huge dam. And therefore, scrupulous people have exchanged the plot numbers and want to benefit while the real owner goes away without benefit. And I think this House needs to rain hard on that so that justice is done to the people. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Senator Boni.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to join the Senator of Nyandarua, the family of Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, his friends and relatives, in celebrating the 50th anniversary of his passing on. And Mr. Speaker, as I do so, I want to affirm that we have a unique opportunity as government to refuse a repeat of what led to the death of J.M. Kariuki. And the best way to do it, Mr. Speaker, is to end the culture of abductions and extrajudicial killings, because it was in exactly the same manner that Mwangi Kariuki was picked from the Hilton Hotel and he went and met his death in Ngong. Mr. Speaker, the pain the family went through, this House should be part of it, because we brought shame. It is in this House that the Vice President announced that JM was alive and he had gone to Zambia. Mr. Speaker, it is also in this House that the Commission of Inquiry was ordered by the then President that they expunge the names of the people who had killed JM. Mr. Speaker, borrowing a leave from what has happened in the US, i.e., the truth surrounding the killing of John F. Kennedy has now come out clearly. We have an opportunity now for the truth to come out about these senior officers in government who killed Josiah Mwangi Kariuki. Mr. Speaker, it's good we guide Senator Medhu to see whether there's a way we can do so that we push for this truth to come to light. And Mr. Speaker, integrity is everything. I know, not many might know, but a member of the cabinet
The race for the cherished FIFA World Cup 2026 slot is heating up.
Olunga, the captain, he plays the right ball inside. Good first touch. They change the lines as Aubameyang gets in behind here. A great opportunity for Aubameyang, and it's off the post.
Lined up on match day 6, Group F is Kenya against Gabon on Sunday, 23rd March at 4 p.m. from Nyayo National Stadium.
Pumped back into the air. The keeper's come a long way off his line and he's missed it. And that's the opener for Kenya.
With the new sheriff in town, don't miss this historic Africa qualified duel live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Bwana Mtume rehma na amani ziwe juu yake akizidisha juhudi katika ibada katika hii kumi hili la mwisho katika mwezi mtukufu wa Ramadhan. Ishhada nabii fauka ma kana yashtahidu fi ghayriha, alikuwa akizidisha juhudi ambazo alikuwa hazifanyi katika miezi mingine.
Moja katika faida ambazo Waislamu wanaweza pata katika kumi la mwisho la mwezi wa Ramadhan ni kupatikaniwa na usiku wa Lailatul.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Na unaishi wapi?
Kwa nyumba.
Area gani? Unaishi sehemu gani?
Oh, unaona hii hapa kwa kona.
Wewe.
Ndia makwana mimi. Nani anaweza kuwa melea ingine?
Kiumri wenda amelea tu.
Mimi ndiye amelea. Ulikuwa?
Niliweza kukula nusu.
Nini kafanyika?
Sasa kitoko mimi nikaanza kutupa nini? Mateke kama punda.
Bila uliona hiyo sumu, kuna pali iliende katoa iliwekwa na Gideon Ondiki yukakuota.
No, it cannot produce that.
Thank you, doctor. Can we meet after this?
Wewe umemaliza maswali?
Nikumwambia tu she's by
cup of tea unamwalika unamjua.
Hata kama ni ule mtu unasema uroge. Hana mali, hana bibi ataniachia. He's just like that. He's vacant. He doesn't have anything.
Two cultures.
Mimi ni Mkale Mkikuyu.
Mimi mamangu ni Mluhya.
Two religions.
Wanaenda msikiti ama
wanaenda
church?
Wanaenda kanisa.
Wanaenda kanisa.
Lakini mimi nikienda mufu.
One heart, one soul.
Tulipatana kama yeye ni msupa. Unajua kitu mzuri ikipita lazima uangalie.
Who makes the best dishes?
Nisema tu watamvuta tu pole waone kama anaweza deliver kwa ni Mkristo.
Wewe una plan to convert?
Hapana.
Kabisa?
Huyu. Badala bibi mpoa sana.
Gifted me a precious gift that I treasure till today.
Na akaichukua.
Wanaosema tutawachana, sidanganyi watangoja sana. Yetu si ya Konde Boy na Kajala.
Differently. Today's stories remind us of the strength and resilience of the human spirit. They also highlight the importance of community, advocacy, and innovation in creating a more inclusive society for persons with disabilities.
Persons with disabilities across the country need to be recognized that they are the voice, and their voices need to be heard in policy making, in policy advocacy.
It is better to educate the people, particularly the husbands. I know the husbands can get annoyed, but it doesn't mean that you cut the hand of a lady whom you love and look after.
Differently.
She ran from the well with rivers of living waters gushing out of her belly. She ran back to the well with a multitude. Come and see the man.
Realities of business, poetry, and how to navigate through life, even in the city and also in the urban settings of the city.
The reason people are out there in the clubs and doing all kinds of things is because they're trying to fill the void that is God's space. And until you find him and let him take his rightful position in your life, you will keep searching.
My name is Ethan Marwa from Happyland Greenspan Chess Club. I've been playing for 2 years now. You should train more to get more points.
The book is Furaha Smiles Again. Furaha had lost her smile.
Show kindness and compassion to others. Chagua maisha ya afya, maisha yenye furaha.
I'm from Loreto Convent Misongari School, and I'm going to be making honey glazed chicken for you.
Today we're going to learn how to make a paper fan snake.
At one point, we do not need mathematics. I think the decision has been hasty, and a lot has not been put into real thought in terms of what are we removing, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I don't think it has ever hurt anyone to study maths all the way, even until college. I did not like mathematics. I have never liked it. But once in a while, I start to appreciate why I was in some of those very complicated classes, Mr. Speaker, because sometimes even on the applications of the bases and the themes that we learn in the mathematics, you never get to appreciate until you are out there in the industry, whether even in communications, whether in engineering, architecture, whatever, and you are forced in a situation where you have to apply some level of thinking that we acquired during those mathematics classes. So I think that was a hasty decision, and I do hope that as we are seeking inquiries as to what led to this policy and how we can further make our curriculum efficient, I do want to say that we must appreciate that, yes, we do not apply algebra everywhere, but some of the things that we are taught in mathematics are actually applicable in life, and I think it is a basis of our day-to-day lives in the different forums that we are. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to start by supporting the first two statements on Order 52.1. And Honorable Speaker, as we remember J.M. Kariuki on the 5th anniversary of his death, I want it to go on record that I also want to remember in a special way one outstanding man we've had in this country, the late Tom Mboya, that came from Homa Bay County. Honorable Speaker, just as J.M. Kariuki had outstanding deeds in this country, the late Tom Mboya equally had very remarkable things that we can remember. This was a man that was a cabinet minister of planning in this country, and in my county, Homa Bay County, we attribute a lot of great things to Tom Mboya. Part of it is the Homa Bay Referral Hostel, the Homa Bay High School, the stadium that we have today are attributed to the planning that Tom Mboya did while he was the Minister of Planning. Along with J.M. Kariuki and Tom Mboya, I want to remember also the doyen of devolution, the late Odhiambo Mbai, that equally comes from a sub-county that I have a history with, Homa Bay Town sub-county. Honorable Speaker, the late Odhiambo Mbai is, as his successors, not limited to the devolution that we now enjoy. This Senate came with the new constitution, and all that is attributed to one scholar called the late Odhiambo Mbai. Along with personalities we remember in this country are the late Minister Robert Ouko. And Honorable Speaker, these are people who did a lot in this country. And Honorable Speaker, it is also, as we remember J.M. Kariuki, and we remember the few have mentioned, there are so many in this republic, like Tom Mboya, Odhiambo Mbai, Robert Ouko. It is important to note that, Honorable Speaker, there is something in a name that all of us must guard. And that is why we must all protect our names, and that is why we must all build onto these names. Honorable Speaker, a few people can remember now who physically Tom Mboya was. A few of us here can remember physically who J.M. Kariuki was. A few of us can remember who Odhiambo Mbai was. They do not even know physically how he looked. But we remember those names, Honorable Speaker. And that is why we say we must protect our names. And that is why we say we can never, ever allow people who discredit others' names, because names are built over years, Honorable Speaker. People take years to build their names. Some of it professionally, some of it, even their families rely on these names. And that is why we call upon everybody to respect each other, to honor each other, and to never, never discredit names that people have built over centuries. Honorable Speaker, I come to the second statement that I want to support, the statement by nominated Senator Mariam Sheikh. Senator talks about abductions. And on the same note, Honorable Speaker, I want to remind this House of a lie that I had here some few weeks ago. One of us came to say that Raila Amolo Odinga did not mention the issue of abductions until we had a function of our prayers that was just few days to his going for the elections in Addis Ababa. Honorable Speaker, I want to put this record straight. That statement was made by the Senator of Kiambu, Senator Thangwa, and he said that Raila at no time did Raila talk about against abductions. I want it to be recorded here that right in December 2024, when Governor Gladys Wanga was hosting the finals of the Genoa Cup in the Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay County, Raila Amolo Odinga came out publicly to talk against abductions and in the presence of the president of this country. And so it is a lie to say that Raila Amolo Odinga did not talk about abductions. And Honorable Speaker, as I correct that, I also want to say that we should never encourage issues like abductions. That in this country, we should encourage diverse thinking. And when people speak out their mind, and that is in the constitution of this country, the Constitution 2010, they must be heard, Honorable Speaker, and abduction should be treated as a criminal offense, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I therefore go to support the statement by the Senator of Kisii, Senator Richard Onyonka, who makes a remark about the policy decision that was made by the government to remove mathematics as a compulsory subject. Honorable Speaker, I want to support the sentiments that have been brought up here over the same by my sister, Senator Gloria, and to say, Honorable Speaker, that mathematics and languages have skills that we refer to as life skills, Honorable Speaker. We all know that all of us need mathematical skills, whether you're a hustler, whether you're a border rider, we need to sharpen these skills in school. And so, Honorable Speaker, I will not be one person who will support this policy decision. Mathematics and languages form the foundation of the skills upon which people build the professions that they have. Honorable Speaker, I've been a teacher of languages, and I know the basic skills that language builds are listening, are speaking, are writing, and these are core. Somebody might underrate them. But all over in our life, even today as you are a member of parliament, you need those skills. And that is why they are referred to as basic skills. So I want to say that maths, there must be a rethinking of the fact that we can remove mathematics as a compulsory subject, Honorable Speaker. And so I want to say that that decision, there should be a consultation, public consultation, even before that is implemented. Honorable Speaker, I come to the statement by the Senator for Nairobi County. This is a statement that is regarding the delayed remittance of school capitation by the National Treasury. Honorable Speaker, just here a few weeks ago, there was a statement that was made by Senator Catherine Muma, where the Union of Secondary School Principals were talking about proposing an increase to school fees. But Honorable Speaker, you know the economic status of our people. All we are saying, and in that statement, Honorable Speaker, there were two factors that were considered: the late disbursement of funds from the National Treasury and a review of the capitation of schools. Honorable Speaker, success is not instant coffee. There must be an investment into the success that we require in our schools. A lot of managers and head teachers and teachers in general take their time, Honorable Speaker, in the education of our children. And as I remember, Honorable Speaker, there's a big percentage that the government must contribute, even as parents also subsidize school payment, Honorable Speaker. And we've often seen, Honorable Speaker, in the budgets of the Ministry of Education, we've seen monies that are allocated to our school. All we are saying is that these monies must be disbursed in time, Honorable Speaker, if we want success, or if we want our students to learn in time. The schools can only be efficient and effective if some of these funds are disbursed to them in time, Honorable Speaker. We all know that schools have a
The world of governance is vast and can be alien to the ordinary man on the street.
Critical issues are going to be discussed.
From white papers to policy positions, it is easier to get lost in the labyrinth of words.
Inside Government takes you to key global metropolis where critical decisions are made and where policies are crafted.
We interview policymakers and senior government officials to highlight and enumerate government policies and projects. We take a deep dive into the underbelly of complex red tape to demystify policies across the country, across the world. Join me, O'Brien Kimani, on Inside Government, only on KBC Channel 1.
Kamali, back punch, chance, goal! Cote d'Ivoire are back in the game!
The FIFA World Cup 2026 Africa Qualifiers match schedule is up for match day 5. In Group F, the Gambia will host Harambee Stars on Thursday, 20th of March from 10 p.m.
Shown, and which may show here. And yes, the breakthrough's there for Kenya.
Catch the action live from Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, live and exclusive KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.